In 1913, Virgil D. White built the first snowmobile in West Ossipee, New Hampshire. Since then, it's undergone many changes. Hi, I'm Joey Place, and for my senior project, I worked on fixing up old snowmobiles and making them in running condition. Ever since I was little, I remember eating PB&J sandwiches with my parents riding their snowmobiles, going with my dad, my brother, and my mom. And since then, I've loved them. As I've seen snowmobiles, I've seen that they've improved much drastically over the years. And as I was working on them, since I've been working on them since 8th grade, I can tell, like working on them, seeing the different changes to the suspension and the engines, how the newer ones compare to the older ones. Why I chose snowmobiles for my presentation. It kind of represents what I'm doing outside of school, because that's what this whole project's supposed to be about. Kind of what we like doing outside of school, and I love working on old snowmobiles. And it's just like something I like doing in my free time. I've always been working on snowmobiles ever since I could, since 8th grade. Even if it was working on cleaning carburetors, starting with that, and getting more deep into taking apart tracks, which is not the most fun. With that being said, it certainly helped the knowledge I had before this project since 8th grade, with knowing how to take apart a carburetor and clean it, knowing how to take apart a track, take all the exhaust off, take the head off, and knowing how to do that before this project certainly helped. How snowmobiles have evolved over time to be more comfortable. One of the biggest things when I was doing my research for this project was I figured out the track design has a huge effect on the snowmobile, and that has changed drastically since snowmobiles have evolved through the years. The older tracks are more rigid, and the spacing is just kind of basic, not specific. In the newer snowmobiles, the track designs are way different. Deeper lugs, spaced out separately, so you can go through more pow and get more bruh. Another thing that I've noticed that has changed a lot has been the suspension. You can definitely see how these old greasy pigs, they have not much suspension. But if you look at a new snowmobile, there's a lot more suspension. And I've noticed this while working on snowmobiles. Even this has the extra 12 suspension. That's a lot for Polaris at the time, and this is a 97. And you can see next to it has the M10 suspension. Now it's a little shorter. And these were just 2 years back in 90s, so they're really old. And then you go to the new ones, they have upwards of 18 inches of suspension, and that changes the riding quality a whole lot to make a way smoother ride. Another big thing that I've noticed is the add-on of push-button electric start. The first snowmobile to do this was the Skidoo Rev back in 2005. They added a push-button electric start, which was very user-friendly for people who wanted to go in reverse easy, because these sleds are not light. You used to have a finicky mechanic device, or even no reverse, like these snowmobiles. For the physical part of my project, I worked on 3 snowmobiles. One of them was a 97 XLT 600, as you see here. And for this one, I got in pretty rough shape for $225. We traveled to Minnesota for this. For that, we worked on the exhaust, carbs, seat, and airbox, stuff like that, kind of cleaning it up. You can see how grummy it is inside when I got it, and how clean I got it to be. I worked on stuff like cosmetics, such as working on the seat. When I got it, the seat was all ripped and all dry cracked, which you don't want for cosmetics, because you want it to be a nice greasy triple. I cleaned up the hood with engine degreaser, which made her nice and shiny. The carbs were all dry from sitting a while because I bought it for so cheap. So I cleaned them up, cleaned the jets, and now it runs good. My second snowmobile was a 1997 Polaris XE700. This one was kind of a beater. I bought it for $250. For this one, I also did exhaust, carbs, seat, airbox, and skis, stator, CDI, head, and gaskets. This one was a problem child. For this one, I had a lot of problems with it losing spark. And for this, I started with a CDI. I first got spark, so I thought it was good. I went to work on it, doing stuff as the seat, and the carbs, and gaskets, and the headwork, making that nice American flag head. When I went to go start it, it had no spark again, just lost it. So I was trying to solve this for a few days, and finally figured it down to the CDI. I went down and found a used CDI, and got it running. This was such a relief to get that done. My third snowmobile was kind of different. It was a 2002 Yamaha RX-1, my first four-stroke I bought. When I bought it, it was not running, which I thought was kind of a problem because I've never worked on four-strokes before. But as I diagnosed the electrical with it and why it wouldn't start, I figured out it was breaking fuses because there was a mouse nest in the handlebars. I figured out the shortage in the system, put new fuses in it, and it ran great after. This is my dad's snowmobile. And this was very beneficial to me to learn how to work on four strokes because it was kind of stepping out of my comfort zone, kind of figuring out how to work on these things and looking at the different changes through the years. Because the RX-1 was definitely a lot newer than the XLTs and the 90s ones were. As I've worked on snowmobiles, you can definitely see how the changes have improved through the years. And this is a huge improvement to snowmobiles, even with a short time of just 20 years from the 90s. I have proven drastically how these snowmobiles have changed for the better of comfort for the rider, and how companies have been trying each year to improve this comfort, and how they have definitely improved through the generations. And through this project, I've definitely gained a lot more knowledge, and I can work on snowmobiles more confidently now after working on this project. Thank you. Are there any questions?
Where'd you get your snowmobile?
Minnesota.
How did you get it here?
I drove.
Where in Minnesota?
East. Any more questions?
Will you ride these this year, Joe?
If we ever get snow.
This weekend?
Yeah, hopefully.
Thank you.